Hey, who here loves trains?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Train Time.
Sorry for the delay in releasing a new episode. I tried to make this a weekly series here going forward, but ran into a little bit of family emergency the last 2 weeks here, so sorry for the delay, guys.
We had overwhelming success with our very first episode, and hoping to continue with this one. Welcome back, happy holidays everybody. Today we're going to be going over new HO scale locomotives and rolling stock. We're going to go over some personal models and have a prize drawing at the end. Let's get going. All aboard! Up first is Athearn's latest release of their ready-to-run SD40. Some prototype background information on the model. The prototype was introduced in 1966. The SD40 had 3,000 horsepower from a turbocharged V16 prime mover. 856 examples of this locomotive model were built for American railroads, 330 were built for Canadian railroads, and 72 were built for Mexican railroads. The locomotive model features LED lighting, photo-etched stainless steel windshield wipers, fully assembled and ready to run, separately applied wire grab irons, separately applied air tanks, coupler cut levers, rubber MU hoses, fine-scale handrails molded in engineering plastic. The non-sound version features a 21-pen NEM DCC plug for decoder of choice. The model has see-through dynamic brake and radiator fans. That's pretty cool. Curved radiator fan grab iron. Frame-mounted bell, unless otherwise noted, prototype specific. Detailed fuel tank. Flexi-coil C-trucks with high or low brake cylinders per prototype. McHenry scale knuckle couplers. And painted and printed for realistic decoration. The model also features bidirectional LED lighting, all-wheel drive with precision gears for smooth and quiet operation, all-wheel electrical pickup, and a 5-pole motor with flywheels and multi-link drivetrain for trouble-free operation. Sound-equipped models also feature onboard economy sound decoder by Soundtrax, engine startup sound sequence, dynamic brake sound or non-dynamic straight to idle on F4 function, extra prime mover and horn sounds exclusive to Athearn version, multiple bell sound files, user configurable via configuration value, sound units operate in both DC and DCC, full DCC functions available when operated in DCC mode, engine, horn, and bell sound work in DC, that's pretty cool, all functions in MRA compatible in DCC mode, excellent slow speed control, current keeper ready for on board with expansion plug, operating lighting functions with F5 or F6, program a MU lash up with lead unit only horn, bell, and lights, and many functions can be altered via CV changes. Typical stuff from Soundtrax, great reliable products from them, always impressed with their products from those guys. This is going to be a cool locomotive to look forward to, guys. Can't wait to pick up a couple of these. And according to Athearn's PDF release here, looks like we're going to have road names of SP, Southern Pacific. Looks like you're also going to have the SD40R grip rebuilds and SD40 M-2 rebuilds. That's pretty cool. We're going to have ATSF, Utah Railway, CSX, and Leaser FURX models. Pretty cool. Up next from Athearn is the Genesis Veranda Turbine, UP turbines. These are awesome locomotives. A little bit of prototype and background information. After World War II, General Electric began working on a locomotive using a gas turbine power plant specifically designed for locomotive usage. The gas turbine had an advantage in that it could burn Bunker C fuel oil. Bunker C fuel oil is a thick, low-grade oil that is left over when crude oil is refined into higher quality products like gasoline and diesel fuel. Being a residual of refining processes, it was both very cheap and widely available. GE's locomotive gas turbine was about 20 feet long and created 4,500 horsepower, 3 times as much as contemporary diesel. The Athearn Genesis Veranda turbines are equipped with many additional lighting features over previous runs. Separately controlled Mars light, emergency stop big hole light, class lights, number boards, and backup light are all equipped. Combined with the industry's most accurate Union Pacific colors and the advanced capabilities of the Soundtrack Tsunami 2 gas turbine sound decoder, these impressive units will be at home on any late transition era UP roster. Some features of the model: it comes fully assembled and ready to run for your layout or display. Sound versions feature Soundtrack Tsunami 2 with 2 speakers installed. It has razor-sharp painting and printing, and more details to come. This was just announced a few weeks ago, so this is still pretty new on the table. But we do know the MSRP will be about $489.98 for the sound-equipped model and $399.98 with sound. So not that much more, guys, to pick up a unit with sound, about $90 more. And I would say with the amount of work and time and price of the decoder, it's worth it getting this locomotive and sound. Up next, we have another awesome release from Athearn Genesis. This is the HO SD70 ACU diesel locomotive. A little bit of prototype background on this locomotive. Starting in 2016, Norfolk Southern began the SD70 ACU capital rebuild program using the SD90 Mac units that they purchased from Union Pacific as cores. All major components were either overhauled or replaced, including an overhaul of the 710 G3C prime mover. Most notable in the rebuild is that from the electrical cabinet forward, all new components were used, including a new ACE-style isolated cab with AAR-style control stand. The new electrical cabinet contains Mitsubishi electronics, replacing the 90 Mac's original Siemens equipment. These models are loaded with details. Some features they include: they're scaled from prototype resources including drawings, field measurements, photographs, and more. They're accurately painted and printed paint schemes using railroad-supplied paint chips for accuracy. There are coupler cut levers, flexible rubber MU hoses, flexible rubber trainline hoses, see-through cab windows, full cab interior, walkway tread, fine-scale Celcon handrails for scale appearance, windshield wipers, lift rings, wire grab irons, detailed fuel tank with fuel fillers, fuel gauges, and breather pipes, sander lines, McHenry scale knuckle couplers, KD compatible, Genesis driveline with 5-pole skew-wound motor, precision machine flywheels and multi-link drivetrain, all-wheel drive with precision gears for smooth and quiet operation, all-wheel electrical pickup provides reliable current flow, wheels with RP25 contours operate on all popular brands of track. The model is equipped with LED lighting for realistic appearance. It has a heavy die-cast frame for greater traction and more pulling power, something we all need. And packaging securely holds model for safe storage, like all Genesis models. Now, if you choose to purchase this locomotive without sound, you will be missing these features, because they're only equipped on the sound-equipped models. And these features are an onboard DCC decoder with Soundtrack Tsunami 2 sound, the latest and greatest. But keep in mind, the sound does operate in both DC and DCC, so if you don't have a DCC layout quite yet, you can still get some awesome sounds out of this locomotive. So, full DCC functions available when operated in DCC mode. The engine, horn, and bell sounds work in DC, like we were saying. All functions are NMRA compatible in DCC mode. Like any Athearn product, precision slow speed control is equipped with this locomotive, which, again, is awesome. Programming a multiple unit lash-up with lead unit, only horn, bell, and lights. Many functions can be altered from the CV changes, and there's a CV chart included in the box. Very cool. Looking forward to seeing these beasts out on the railroad. And taking a look at the road names and liveries announced with this product, it looks like we have Canadian Pacific and Norfolk Southern. And Norfolk Southern, we're coming in here, it looks like with the traditional black scheme. And from Canadian Pacific, we have 2 military units. We have the Army Arid Regions and the Navy unit. Really cool. That's really cool stuff there. And we also have the CP Heritage unit with the script lettering and the CP System Red with the monochrome beaver logo. Awesome. Something I'm really looking forward to seeing out there. And up next is a new product from Bachmann. This is pretty cool. This is Bachmann's all-new DCC sound-equipped Amtrak SC44 charger. Really cool for Amtrak modelers. I know I'm going to pick up a couple of these. This model includes a TCS WOW sound decoder with audio assist for easy configuration without programming CVs, and a keep alive device for uninterrupted operation, even over dirty track, which is a cool feature that a lot of the latest locomotives have included. The WOW Sound diesel-electric locomotive sound package includes horn, bell, prime mover, startup and shutdown, compressor, cooling fan, coupler close and release, brake release and application, crew alert, grade crossing wheel, departing and arriving station announcements, and more. Loaded with prototypical features, the Charger brings all the sights and sounds of Siemens diesel-electric locomotive to your layout. Details and features of this model include original design documentation and sound files that were used in the original design, DCC sound equip for sound, speed, direction, and lighting control with TCS True 16-bit CD quality audio, dual mode NMRA compliant decoder with voice guided audio assist programming tool for easy setup of almost all decoder functionality. Something I haven't tried out yet, but I'm really looking forward to trying that out. It has directional headlights, interior corridor work lights, roof mounted strobe lights per prototype. That's probably one of my favorite aspects of this model. Marker lights, steady alternate flashing ditch lights. That's cool. A die-cast heavy frame, because we all know that Amtrak cars in HO scale can be very heavy, especially Am fleets. So if you're pulling any mothball surfliners, you want to use this, keep in mind this unit will be just fine pulling those. Separately applied windshield wipers, grab irons, and detail parts, and it's available in 3 liveries right now. My favorite, the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner, because I'm here in Southern California. There's also the Amtrak Cascades for everyone in the Pacific Northwest, and the Amtrak Midwest paint scheme for everyone in the heart of the country. Now, the MSRP on these beauties is about $459 as advertised from Bachmann, but I have seen them going for under $300 from specific online retailers. Keep your eye out, shop-wise, and you'll find a great deal on these beautiful locomotives. And that about does it for locomotives this issue. Next, we have the Bombardier bi-level commuter cars that are just announced from Rapido trains up in Canada. The road names available will be the Agency Métropolitaine de Transport, excuse me if I pronounced that incorrectly, Go Transit, Metrolink, Trinity Rail Express, Tri-Rail, and West Coast Express. Also, an undecorated coach and cab coach. Now, these are going to be really cool to pair with Rapido's new F59 commuter locomotives that are coming out as well soon. I know that I'm going to grab up a Metrolink F59 and a couple of these Metrolink cars so I have a Metrolink train. Because, again, I've grown up here in Southern California, and that's basically what I've grown up with. Now, the details and features included on these cars will be body shell with or without rivet details. So I know some people aren't really familiar with that, but some of these cars are manufactured a little bit differently per prototype, so that's one of the most important things. They have 4 or 5 windows on lower level as appropriate per the prototype as well. Inside bearing trucks with roller bearing axles and metal wheel sets. Interior and underbody details, tinted window glazing, metal side grab irons, constant dual mode interior lighting, so it's going to work in DC and DCC, and controllable dual mode cab car lighting. That's awesome. Can't wait to get a cab car with lights. MSRP will be single coach about $99.95. A single cab coach is about $120 at $119.95. You can get a 3-car set without a cab car for $299.95 and a 3-car set with the cab coach for $319.95. Delivery is in 2021. If you haven't pre-ordered yet, put your orders in or keep your eye out for online retailers having them when the model releases. All right, now comes the part of the show where we talk about personal models. This personal model is a model of the Valparaiso local Amtrak train, also known as the Calumet. The Valparaiso local was a commuter train service operated by the Pennsylvania Railroad, Penn Central, Conrail, and later Amtrak. It offered service between Chicago, Illinois, and Valparaiso, Indiana. With the May 1st, 1971 startup of Amtrak, all Penn Central intercity trains were taken over by Amtrak, but Penn Central continued to run their commuter trains in several metropolitan areas, including the Valpo local. The bankrupt Penn Central merged into Conrail on April 1st, 1976, which still continued operations until 1979, at which point Amtrak finally took over and the train was then referred to as the Calumet. Amtrak announced that it would discontinue the service on December 31st, 1990, and gave the state of Indiana time to consider subsidizing the route. Indiana decided not to subsidize, and the train last ran on May 3rd, 1991. Commuter service from Chicago into northern Indiana is still provided by the South Shore Line, operated by the Northern Indiana Commuter Transportation District over its own alignment, whose closest stop is Dune Park Station, which is about 15 miles from Valparaiso. The train makeup would usually consist of inherited bi-level commuter cars and F40PH locomotives for power. The train modeled here represents a typical consist seen in the early 1980s. These cars are all manufactured by Cato, and the locomotive is manufactured by Rapido. All clips were shot at the California Southern Model Railroad Club in Norwalk, California. A great club that I am a member of. You guys should check it out. All right, guys, it's that time of the show where it's time to play the game. All right, let's see who's going to be the winner of this episode. Spin that wheel. Spinny, 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 spinny. Let's see who's going to win. Let's see who's going to win. Now, the way to enter is comment on this video, comment on Facebook posts, and comment on all YouTube posts, and you are entered into the drawing. Here we go. Oh, H.O. Roundhouse. H.O. Roundhouse, my friend, you have won Episode 2 Train Time Prize. Congratulations, congratulations. Get a hold of me. We'll get that prize sorted out, and I'll send you an email as well, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, thank you for joining the show. Until next time, happy holidays. I will see you soon. Everyone take care and stay safe.